Company meeting. I'm bored out of my mind. Texting my online girlfriend. Bye. Tonight I want you to wear that black halter top and send me a pic. Oku. But the next second, the same message appeared on the big screen in the meeting. It was clearly the message I just sent. Even worse, the note said husband. I met my current online girlfriend on Qian2a. Neither of us has ever sent a face photo. But because we clicked so well, we quickly became an online couple. And I always had some little requests, often boldly asking her for some more revealing photos. When she first sent me a half body shot, I was completely stunned. What an incredible body, especially those long legs. They're just perfect. Damn, did you see that? That message was actually from the 11 iOS husband, and something about a black halter top. Hey, don't fall asleep. Did you see it? That message was the best gossip of the year. Right now, I'm still in SOC. My colleague thinks I'm dozing off and even tells me to look up. When I lift my head, I lock eyes with the 11IO. Seeing his cold gaze, I force a smile and lower my head again. Soon, under the 11 iOS scrutiny, the commotion dies down and I keep my head down. My heart is racing nonstop. Shortly after, I get a message on my phone. Oku, I'll wear it for you tonight when I get back. I'm in a meeting. Talk later. Bye. This cold, serious 11IO actually knows how to be playful. I never knew he was this wild and private. The meeting ends abruptly. I drift back to my desk in a daze. Bye. Why aren't you answering me? I really am in a meeting. Is it because I didn't reply in time? Are you mad? Let me make it up to you, Oku. I have tons of unread messages on my phone, all from my online girlfriend. She thinks I'm ignoring her because I'm mad, but she has no idea. I'm just too scared. Soon, a photo in black stockings comes through. Isn't that the same pair the 11IO wore to the meeting this morning? Even the high heels are exactly the same. Then the department head comes to my desk. Chenzi, what are you spacing out for? The 11IO wants you in his office. Great, I'm really in for it now. I grip my phone tightly and stand nervously in front of the 11IO. You wanted to see me? At this moment, I have no illusions about this online relationship. If he finds out I'm just his employee, he'll probably break up with me for sure. The 11IO is doing something on his computer, while my phone keeps buzzing. Soon, the 11IO looks up at me with displeasure. Sorry for disturbing your work. I'll turn it off right away. This tense situation lasts for about 20 minutes, until the 11IO stands up from his desk with a disappointed look, staring at me coldly. I saw you were listless in the meeting this morning, not paying attention at all, and last month's project had a major screw-up. You know our company doesn't keep dead weight, right? Hearing the 11IO say this, I tremble all over. Is he about to fire me? I'm really sorry. There have been some issues at home lately, so I haven't been focused. Rest assured, it won't happen again. But the truth is, I was up all night on the phone with a person in front of me, talking too excitingly, so I didn't get enough sleep. If there's another screw-up, you're out of here. With that, the 11IO waves me out. I make it back to my desk safely and see dozens of unread messages from the 11IO. I rub my throbbing temples. Bye. Please talk to me. Oku, I'm so annoyed today. That useless employee. Last month's project went wrong and cost the company a lot of money again. Boo-hoo. Seeing the 11iOS last message on my phone, I'm speechless. Isn't he talking about me? What do you mean, useless employee? Come on, I just got scolded by the bot and didn't dare look at my phone. You should be gentler with your subordinates. It'd be best to give them a raise to strengthen their loyalty to the company. I send the message with a sly grin, already imagining an extra zero on my next paycheck. The next second, I get a reply. Which company is your bot from? I'll help you take him out for daring to yell at you. I sigh. So he only saw the part about me getting scolded by the bot. He completely missed the part about the raise. Oh well, let it be. After work, I stay behind at the company alone, planning to pick up the project I messed up last month. At least in real life, I can't look too bad in front of the 11IO. Otherwise, how can I win him over? If I can perform well at the company and make the 11IO fall for me in real life, thinking about the 11iOS tempting figure, I can't help but chuckle to myself. What are you grinning about instead of going home after work? A cold voice comes from behind me. My hair stands on end. 11IO, you're still here? I just wanted to work hard. Since last month's project had a problem, I thought I'd make up for it. The 11IO doesn't say anything after hearing that and turns to leave. Watching the proud 11IO, I smirk inwardly. Bye. Are you off work? I send a message to the 11IO. Soon, I get a reply. Just about to leave the company to get dinner. Am I being good? Seeing the 11IO chat with me in this tone, it's hard to imagine he's the same cold, aloof person. Yeah, you're good. I'll give you a kiss. Soon, I take a selfie of my lips, careful not to show my work uniform. Naughty. Anyway, we've known each other for a while. I want to meet you. The 11IO suddenly sends me a message, which catches me off guard. Could it be that after all this fun online, he's not satisfied and wants to meet in person? Now's not the time to meet. We still don't know each other well enough. You're bad. Don't you know me well enough? You've seen all my measurements. About meeting. He doesn't push it further. So, at the company, I'm writing a client proposal while flirting with the 11IO. It's quite a unique experience. I didn't expect him to rush back in a panic, without even speaking to me, and head straight into his office. Bye. I'm sorry. I left the halter top you lie in the office, and I couldn't find a black one. There's only a purple one. Do you lie it? Then a photo comes through. I zoom in to look, and almost have a nosebleed. This isn't a halter top. It's practically a strip of cloth, except for a few key points covered. The rest, no. I can't think about it anymore. I shake my head, forcing myself to calm down. I'm in the office now, and there are employees working overtime outside. I can't call you today. How annoying. They had to work overtime today. Seeing the message, I instantly bristle. It's the same person for both roles. Why the different treatment? With that in mind, I come up with an idea. I send a message with a sly grin. Remember when I said you'd listen to me the day before yesterday? The 11IO in the office sees the message and blushes. Now, here's my first command. Put on that halter top, then throw on a coat, and treat your employee to a meal. After sending this, I put down my phone and quickly get back to work. But I can't help feeling excited inside. Isn't this a kind of roleplay? Not good? I'm not close with that employee. If I accidentally get seen, didn't you say you wanted something exciting? Let's just forget it. Actually, I was shocked when I first found out. Never thought my online girlfriend had a bit of an M side. When I found out she was the 11IO, I got even more excited, thinking about all the future opportunities. I couldn't help but act on it. Oh cool, I know. Don't be mad. After receiving the message, I turn off my computer. Soon, the whole company goes quiet. I perk up my ears and quickly hear rustling sounds from the 11iOS office. I fight the urge to rush in. When the noise stops, I quickly stand up, pretending to pack up to leave. Just then, the 11IO walks out of the office too. I glance sideways, and sure enough, he's wrapped in a coat, thinking about the thin layer underneath. I get a bit excited. The 11IO comes out. I'm just about done with my work, so I'll head back first. Wait, the 11IO calls out to me. I act like I don't know anything, looking at him curiously. It's getting late. I haven't eaten yet. Come have a meal with me. The 11IO practically grits his teeth to say this. I act flattered and quickly refuse. No, you're too kind. I was just working overtime. I can't let you treat me. I'll just eat at home. Enough talk. If you don't come today, don't bother coming to work tomorrow. With that, he turns and leaves without giving me a chance to refuse. Ding dong. My phone buzzes with a message. Bye. What should I treat him to? I've never treated anyone to a meal before. Watching the 11IO walk ahead. So cute. I almost laugh out loud. Ask your employee. Maybe it's good to get some input. I follow behind the 11IO, and we get to the company entrance. I get into his car. 11IO, sorry for the expense. Don't worry, I'll work extra hard from now on. I'll try to. What do you want to eat? The 11IO cuts off my grand speech and asks coldly. I'm annoyed inside, thinking he likes the online version of me, while the real me isn't even fit to tie his shoes. An idea comes to mind. I plan to prank him. Oh, let's have hot pot. This weather, sweating a bit, then taking a shower. It's nigh. The 11IO hesitates when he hears hot pot. Seeing him lie this, I immediately add fuel to the fire. Maybe we should switch to something cheaper. Hot pot might be too expensive, but as soon as I say that, the 11IO turns and glares at me, then floors the gas pedal, and we zoom off. We don't talk the whole way, watching the 11IO's expressionless face. He must be provoked by me, but I'm laughing inside. Let him act cold. Let him act aloof. Just wait. My little lot mission is just beginning. Soon, under my direction, the 11IO arrives at a famous hot pot place nearby. Getting out, the place is packed. The air thick with the aroma of the broth. The 11IO hesitates, standing at the door for a long time without moving. I walk casually into the hot pot place, find a seat by the window, and start ordering from the menu. 10 minutes later, the 11IO finally walks in cautiously, sitting across from me, looking very uncomfortable. But, it's so hot in here, and you're still wearing your coat. Why not take it off to see you down? As I say this, I take off my work jacket, revealing my short sleeves. The 11IO doesn't say anything, just glares at me fiercely. But when he sees my short sleeves, he's clearly taken aback. Seeing his strange look, I look down, and panic instantly. The shirt I'm wearing now is the same one I wore during our 6DO call. Am I about to be exposed? The 11IO replies coldly, then looks down and plays with his phone. I breathe a sigh of relief. Soon, a message comes through on my phone. Bye. My employee is wearing the same shirt as you, but my dear still looks better in it. Seeing the message, I'm speechless. Indeed, no matter who, being lobstruck is not good. So, don't you think he looks slimy? I bravely send a message. Impossible. In my heart, Bye is the best. No one looks as good in it as you. Just lie that. The 11IO and I don't say a word to each other, both staring at our phones. Even the waiter gives us strange looks. I feel weird inside, a bit shy. I'm drinking water when I see this message and spray it out. Then I start coughing violently, almost choking. My actions catch the 11IO's attention. I quickly apologize, thinking to myself, this girl's language is getting bolder, and sending such exciting stuff in public. She's definitely got that M side. Soon, the food arrives on the table. I put away my phone and start devouring the food in front of me. The 11IO, seeing no reply from his online girlfriend, also puts away his phone and eats. As time goes by, the temperature around us rises. Even in my short sleeves, I'm sweating. So you can imagine, with that thick coat on, how hot the 11IO must be. I'm going out for some air. You eat first. After saying that, he rushes out of the hot pot place. Through the glass, I can even see him fanning his coat, letting the cold air in. For some reason, at this moment, I feel a huge sense of accomplishment. Little lady, feeling hot and bothered? Need big brother to see you down? Just then, 3 drunk men come out of a nearby food stall. Get lost. The 11IO has no time for them. He just coldly says one thing, and turns to go back inside. But the 3 men won't let it go, and grab his sleeve, tearing it. The 11IO's coat is ripped open, revealing his fair skin to the 3 men. Seeing this, the 3 men's mouths water. Still playing innocent with me? Dressed so provocatively. Aren't you just trying to seduce men? The bald leader grabs the 11IO's hand, trying to drag him away. The 11IO slaps him across the face, but due to the obvious strength difference, it doesn't do much damage, and only excites him more. No way, this one's feisty. But I lie wild ones. Soon, the three of them are about to swarm and carry the 11IO off. By now, I've rushed out. And a second before they act, I pull the 11IO into my arms. I hold the 11IO with one arm and say to the three men, "Hey guys, if you've had too much to drink, go home and sleep it off." Doing this, aren't you afraid of getting beaten up? The 11IO tries to struggle, but I give him a hard slap on the butt, and he settles down. And who the hell are you? I'm telling you, don't ruin our fun, or I'll make sure you're bedridden for life. I'm getting a bit angry too. The 11IO I brought out, and you guys try to mess with him? My woman is none of your business. I see the female 11IO glare at me, and I glare right back. I'm saving you, and you're giving me that look? Still not satisfied, I give him another hard slap on the butt. Listen, kid, what we want is ours. I suggest you mind your own business, or you'll be missing something today. The three men don't waste words, and fueled by alcohol, they step forward to take the 11IO. I don't waste words either. Push the 11IO behind me, grab the bald man's arm, and twist it hard. Instantly, a pig-like squeal rings out. You two take another step, and I swear his arm will break. Don't move. Yeah, move again, and my arm will break. Next time you're drunk, go home and sleep it off. If you're this clueless again, I'll make sure you're missing something. Watching the three flee in disgrace, I grin and nod at the 11IO. See, without me today, you'd be in trouble. How about a raise when we get back? I'm a bit tipsy myself, and step forward to put my arm around the 11IO's shoulder. The next second, I feel the world spin. When I come to, I'm lying on the ground, with the 11IO straddling me, in a perfect hold that leaves me immobile. One arm is pinned, and the other is slapping the ground, while the 11IO shows no sign of letting up. Sis, why didn't you say you knew Kung Fu? See, this is a misunderstanding. You slapped my butt twice. So I have no choice but to give in. That was a special situation, with three guys and them being so aggressive. I was afraid you'd get hurt. I just wanted you to calm down. The 11IO doesn't listen to my explanation, and tightens his grip even more. Bot, please let go. It hurts. This feeling of wanting to move but not daring to is awful. This woman really doesn't hold back. You crossed the line. Remember, you're just an employee. I'm about to argue, but suddenly realize we're stuck together in a very awkward position, and my eyes happen to land on something they shouldn't. Bot, you lie purple? I'm such a fool. I should have just looked, but I had to say it out loud. Now look, the 11IO is stunned for a moment, then notices my lecherous gaze. Half an hour later, I'm at the hospital, with my left arm in a cast and a sling around my neck. I look as miserable as can be. See, what did I tell you? Impulse is the devil, the devil. Now look, your excellent employee is out of commission. Then you don't have to come to work tomorrow. You're fired. The 11IO says this, but I can see a hint of guilt in his eyes. Seeing this, I grin and lean in again, saying to him, everyone says you're good to your employees. I don't believe you'd fire me so easily. Besides, I helped you out. You were just meddling. The 11IO stands up after saying this, and walks to a nearby stairwell. I watch his back and smirk. Just as I expected, when I pull out my phone, a message from the 11IO comes through. Honey, I'm sorry, I can't be with you tonight. There's something I need to handle here. Soon, the 11IO's message arrives. What happened? I reply, while looking at my bandaged left hand, and smile wryly. Nothing, just some project issues to sort out. I'll be busy tonight, so don't wait up. I'll make it up to you next time. I'm complaining inside. He doesn't even mention breaking my arm. And project issues? Yeah, right. I'll let it slide this time. At some point, the 11IO appears in front of me. What are you smiling about? Seeing me grinning so smugly, he says coldly. I quickly wipe the smile off my face, shake my head, and say nothing. Where do you lie? I'll take you home. You're on paid leave until your arm heals, then come back to work. The 11IO turns and leaves, without giving me a chance to speak. I have no choice but to follow him out of the hospital and into the car. Give me your address, and I'll take you home. It seems the 11IO has no interest in talking to me. Maybe because of me. He couldn't chat with his online girlfriend tonight, so he's taking it out on me. I reach into my pocket with one hand, then look at the 11IO helplessly and say, I lost it. It's gone. Either I lost it while fighting for you, or it fell out when you were straddling me. I can't get home now. Hearing me say straddling, the bot's face instantly turned red. Then she glared at me fiercely. The next second, she grabbed my cast-covered arm. If you ever mention this in front of me again, I'll make sure it's a compound fracture. Got it? Seeing the bot's fierce expression, I couldn't help but swallow. I nodded instinctively. The bot pulled her hand back and thought for a moment. I'll take you to a hotel. You can recover there, and I'll cover the expenses, Oku. Ouch, my arm hurts. It's inconvenient to do anything alone in a hotel, and there's no one around to take care of me. No good deed goes unpunished, huh? Hearing the bot wanted to send me to a hotel, I was the first to object. If I went to a hotel, how could I get close to her? So I started throwing a tantrum. I helped you all night out of kindness, and you still want me to stay in a hotel alone? No good deed goes unpunished. fine. You can come to my place. Tomorrow, I'll find a locksmith for you. Once it's fixed, you leave immediately. Don't cause me any more trouble. Finally, after my persistent pleading, the bot couldn't take it anymore. She decided to take me home tonight. It wasn't the result I hoped for. I originally planned to stay at her place long term, but this isn't bad either. At least I get to see the bot's private room. I'm probably the first in the whole company. I'm pretty satisfied with this outcome. The bot drove with a dark face, while I lounged comfortably in the passenger seat. Soon, the bot pulled me into a luxury neighborhood. As soon as I entered, I looked around in surprise. Even at night, the scenery in the neighborhood was as beautiful as a royal villa. I gaped, not used to such luxury. The bot, still frowning, walked over. She grabbed my arm and dragged me away, because in her eyes, I was too embarrassing. Hey, old Lou, was that the female 11IO known as the Little Iceberg Beauty? I've never seen her bring anyone back before. It's not that strange. Women, at a certain age, always need a partner. But that guy is a bit too embarrassing. At that moment, the bot was pulling me forward, completely unaware of what the security guards were saying about us. When we reached the building, the bot finally breathed a sigh of relief. We hadn't run into anyone we knew along the way. If they saw her bringing a stranger home, who knows what they'd gossip about. And then the bot realized she was still holding my arm. It's fine. I don't mind. I won't say you're taking advantage of me. I said it casually, but it was obvious. If the bot didn't feel guilty toward me, I'd probably be dead by now. Watching the bot unlock the door with her key, my heart was racing with excitement. Finally, I'd be the first man to enter her room. As the room's lights came on, when I saw the full view of the bot's house, I was completely stunned. Who knew the decor would be as old-fashioned as my grandpa's taste? Bot, living in such a big house alone, with such minimalist decor, right? A listed company 11 iOS room, besides a few basic pieces of furniture, had nothing else. That made the whole room feel very spacious. The room was on the first floor, near the bathroom on the left. You'll stay there tonight, don't wander off. If I catch you sneaking upstairs, don't blame me for calling the police. The bot laid out some rules, then walked straight upstairs. The sound of running water came from the bathroom. Bored, I sat down on the living room sofa and started examining the room. Simple black and white decor, not even a single plant. As a woman, wouldn't it be normal to have some pink decorations in the living room? At that moment, I felt a bit sorry for this girl. In reality, she's a company 11IO, having to control the big picture. But on lie, she's also a vulnerable girl, complaining to me every day about life's troubles. At that moment, I had an idea. To change her, to completely release that lively, shy girl inside. Just then, my stomach growled uncooperatively. I had planned to eat hot pot, but so many things happened afterward, and now I was starving. I was about to get up and make something to eat, but suddenly I wanted to see how my online dating partner's cooking skills were. So I endured the hunger, waiting for her to finish her shower. An hour later, just as I was about to pass out from hunger, the bot finally came out. Seeing me lying on the sofa looking hopeless, the bot asked from the second floor, "Why aren't you resting yet?" "I'm hungry. So hungry I can't sleep." The bot looked at me helplessly, went downstairs, took a carton of milk from the fridge, and threw it in front of me. "Drink this, then get some rest. Tomorrow I'll take you back." Bot, is this how you treat a good employee? At least make me a bowl of noodles. Neither of us ate enough tonight. You're not just torturing me. You're torturing yourself too. The bot frowned after hearing this, barely holding back the urge to strangle me. She opened the fridge and took out all the ingredients. Then she turned on the stove to boil water. I closed my eyes, listening to the sounds of the bot busy in the kitchen, while thinking about what to name our future child. It seemed we hadn't even exchanged names yet. Just like that, as I was imagining our child in elementary school, I suddenly smelled something burning. I quickly got up and saw the bot dumping the noodles from the pot into the trash. Then she started washing the pot. Well, she's 11IO, not used to cooking. It's normal to mess up the first time. Understandable. That's how I comforted myself. But when I saw the bot roughly tear the unwashed greens and throw them into the pot, then grab a handful of noodles and toss them in after the water boiled, I thought, the veggies were probably washed before being put in the fridge. A little dirt won't hurt. I kept comforting myself. But when I saw the bot crack an egg, and half the shell fell into the pot, and she just ignored it, I jumped up from the sofa. This woman is definitely trying to poison me. I can't let her keep cooking. Bot, how about I take over? You don't seem too skilled at this. I racked my brain to come up with the word skilled. Let me try again. Next time it'll be fine. At that moment, I realized she wasn't just unskilled. She had no idea how to cook at all. Seeing her lie that, the softest part of my heart. Bot, take a break. I'll handle it. With that, I took over from the bot and told her to rest, partly because I felt sorry for her. A girl who never had to do housework was cooking for me, and partly because I was really starving. Then I skillfully washed the pot and filled it with water. When it boiled, I threw the noodles in. Meanwhile, I started washing the vegetables. The bot sat behind me, watching me expertly use all the tools she couldn't handle. She was stunned. She never thought cooking could be so simple. I didn't notice the bot staring at me. I quickly cracked 2 eggs into the pot, counted to 10 in the boiling water, then scooped them out, placed the eggs on top of the noodles, then gently poked them with chopsticks. The runny yolk flowed out. Finally, I added a few drops of sesame oil. The aroma instantly filled the room. You must be hungry. Come try it. I usually cook for myself. I'm confident in my skills. I picked up the bowls and chopsticks and placed the noodles in front of the bot. The simple noodles looked crystal clear under my creation, especially the runny egg yolk on top, which elevated the dish's appearance by several levels, plus the garnish of a few greens. I said, as I placed my own bowl on the coffee table. I picked up a chopstickful, blew on it, and stuffed it in my mouth. I was really hungry. Do you cook often? The bot's tone was no longer cold. Instead, it was full of curiosity. Yeah, I lie alone, and if I didn't cook, ordering takeout every day would be expensive, and takeout isn't very hygienic. You never know what they put in it. It's safer to cook your own food. Seeing me wolfing down the noodles, the bot couldn't resist picking up a chopstickful and putting it in her mouth. Soon, her eyes lit up. She hadn't had such good noodles in a long time. It reminded her of her mother's cooking. Bot, after you finish eating, go upstairs and rest. I'll take care of the rest. I'll clean up before I sleep. At that moment, I felt so accomplished in front of the bot. It really boosted my male confidence. Your hand? Looking at my cast-covered left arm, the bot couldn't help but worry. I didn't expect the bot to care about me. I turned and smiled at her, saying it was no problem. I'd already caused so much trouble. I couldn't just do nothing. After eating, under my urging, the bot went to her room to sleep. I gathered the bowls and chopsticks and took them to the sink. While I was washing the dishes, my phone buzzed with a message. Good night, darling. Good night. The next morning, the bot came out of her room. She saw a man in an apron busy in the kitchen. Sweat was already forming on my forehead. I'd been working since 6 a.m. and was finally finishing this hearty breakfast. What are you doing? Her face no longer had that girlish look from yesterday. Instead, it had returned to its cold expression. Making you a lot breakfast. Since you can't cook, you probably don't have time to eat in the morning. I don't have much work to do now, so I figured I'd whip something up. The bot didn't react. She sat on a chair and watched me work. Then she said coldly, after we eat, I'll take you back. I was frying eggs, and my body trembled. So I still couldn't stay here? Sure. Thank you for your trouble. I carried the fried eggs, turned around, and walked over with a smile. The bot didn't say anything. Instead, she picked up a slice of bread, put the egg on it, and took a bite. Soon, I noticed her expression change. It was one of disbelief. Nothing much to do at home, so you can stay. The sudden question caught me off guard. Nothing important. If you need, I can work from home. Actually, I thought about it yesterday. Since you were injured on the job, your meal expenses should be reimbursed too. And I don't have time to cook usually. I'll pay, you cook. Consider it your meal allowance. How about that? The bot said without changing her expression, eating her sandwich as she spoke. I understood exactly what the bot meant, probably because of last night's noodles. I'd won her over with my cooking. Right, the bot reminded me. I almost forgot. I also need help changing the medicine on my arm. So how about I stay at your place for a while? And be your personal chef? We were on the same page. One wanted to stay, the other wanted good food every day. And so, I stayed at the bot's place. After breakfast, the bot went to work, while I cleaned up the house with one hand. Then I collapsed on the sofa and texted the bot. Good morning, darling. Morning. The bot didn't reply much, because at that moment, she was conflicted. It felt like cheating. She had a boyfriend, yet she let another man stay in her home. To shake off that thought, she worked like crazy all morning. After signing the last document, she was completely exhausted. She even had to hold on to the desk to stand up. Darling, work is so tiring. My back hurts. The bot started complaining via text. Actually, she didn't realize, ever since I showed up at her place, we hadn't exchanged sweet words on lie all day. She might not have noticed that detail, but I, as the one involved, could feel it. Then you should pay attention to your sitting posture. Don't sit for too long. Get up and move around when you have time. Be good. Lop you. The bot sat on the sofa, rubbing her back. In her mind, she was thinking about last night's cooking scene. It was the first time she showed vulnerability in front of an outsider. Her perfect image shattered in that moment. Her so-called bravado, her so-called stubbornness, crumbled before him. Hello, is this a specialty store? I'd like to order a back support, preferably one with a warming effect. After hanging up, I lounged comfortably on the sofa. It felt like cheating in a game. Knowing everything in advance. All day, the bot didn't message her online partner, while I walked around the room with a pen, writing things down. My goal was simple, to redesign the bot's room. A girl using this black and white color scheme, if she stays in it too long, she'll definitely develop psychological issues. And so, the bot and I each had a busy day. When I got another call, it was a 60 call from the bot. Come downstairs and help me carry some things. When I went downstairs and saw the scene, I was speechless. The bot had 2 shopping carts, both fully loaded. I didn't know what you needed, so I just bought a lot. I want to eat grilled fish tonight. The bot said this a bit shyly. But I knew it was a good start, because she had a need. Since I could only use one arm, the two of us together struggled to handle all those groceries. After a huge effort, the bot and I finally moved everything inside. Looking at the living room now full of stuff, this finally felt like a home. Unlike before, the bot lay on the sofa without any dignity, rubbing her forehead with her hand. It was clear she was very tired today. As I put the groceries into the fridge one by one, I said, "Bot, you don't have to push yourself so hard. You need to give yourself a break." The bot didn't say anything. I thought she didn't want to talk to me, but when I finished tidying up and turned around, I found her asleep on the sofa. I walked over, carefully pulled a blanket from the side, and covered the bot with it. I also placed the back support I bought today, where she could see it as soon as she woke up. Then I hummed a tune and started making the grilled fish. You know, it really felt like I was cooking dinner for my wife coming home from work. After an hour of work, I finally put the fish in the oven. The bot woke up. When she saw the blanket on her, she sat up straight. Seeing me busy in the kitchen, she breathed a sigh of relief. She had never slept so soundly in front of anyone else. Did that mean she trusted me that much? Soon, she spotted the back support on the coffee table. I ordered it for you. I saw you struggling to carry things, so you must have back pain. And looking at the date, I figured your period was coming in a few days. So I bought you a warming back support. I also prepared some brown sugar. While you can still eat rich food, I'll make you something good. I didn't turn around as I spoke, still busy with my work, but I could already imagine how touched the bot would be hearing this. Just as I expected, the bot looked at the back support in her hands and the brown sugar I had prepared. She sat there stunned, not knowing what to do. All these years, she had been on her own. No one had ever cared for her. Even her online partner only offered words of comfort. But this man in front of her was so thoughtful. The bot just kept staring at me. She didn't even realize she had eaten. Done. With the final step complete, today's grilled fish was ready. I made some rice and placed the fish in the main dish on the coffee table. The bot still hadn't snapped out of it, still staring at me. What are you looking at? Time to eat. Is there something good on my face? I waved my chopsticks in front of the bot. Seeing her come back to her senses, I picked up my bowl and chopsticks and sat on the other side. You're the bot, and I'm just the cook you hired. So naturally, I shouldn't sit with the owner. Yeah, I'm self-aware about that. With that, ignoring the bot's expression, I started eating my rice. The bot picked up a piece of fish and put it in her mouth. The next second, her eyes lit up. She was about to compliment me, but turned to see me leaning on my arm, looking at her with a smile. You can praise me now, right? It tastes good, doesn't it? Seeing my smug face. It's just a bit better than street food. Hearing that, my smile froze on my face. A wave of defeat washed over me. From an angle I didn't notice, the bot saw my reaction, and a slight smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. Just as I was doubting my cooking skills, I suddenly noticed the bot's rice bowl was empty. Her cheeks were slightly flushed, and fine beads of sweat had formed on her forehead. She was gasping for air. I was secretly thrilled. Little one, let's see how long you can keep up the act. Is it a bit spicy? You didn't say you couldn't handle spicy food. With that, I stood up and walked to the fridge. Who said that? It's just a bit hot. At that moment, the bot's lips were slightly swollen from the spice, looking very tempting. I walked over and placed the peanut milk I just took from the fridge in front of her. Don't force it. Drink up, sis. Your period is coming in a few days. Eating so much spicy food isn't good for you. The bot looked at the peanut milk in front of her and heard me say, period. Her cheeks flushed even more. How do you know my period is coming? It's on the wall. I pointed to the calendar hanging on the wall. I was wondering earlier why there were circles drawn on it every month. After some calculation, I figured out it was for her period. And this month, it wasn't marked yet. But based on the timing, it's almost here. The bot didn't say anything more. Instead, she lowered her head, saying it wasn't good. But she had eaten half the fish by herself. After eating, the bot lay on the sofa. Then, ordering a servant. She pointed at the leftovers on the table. Clean it up. I'm very satisfied with tonight's dinner. Keep up the good work. I put everything back in its place. I made a cup of brown sugar water and placed it in front of the bot. Let it see you a bit, then drink it. If you start replenishing your blood now, when the time comes, it won't be as bad. The bot lay on the sofa, just hummed in response and didn't say anything else. This habit is really bad. You have back pain, yet you're lying on the sofa. Don't you know you shouldn't put too much pressure on that area? I don't know where I got the courage, but as I spoke, I put my hand on the bot's back. I pressed down firmly with my right hand. Her spine made a cracking sound. She looked at me curiously, because the pain had lessened. Prolonged pressure on bones can cause misalignment. You need to be careful from now on. Bot, you need to take care of your health too. If you collapse, who will pay my salary? With that, I turned and started cleaning the kitchen. I knew I couldn't keep going like this. Being too enthusiastic would only push her away. Keeping a CU distance. That's how I could stay here. After all, distance creates beauty. I understand that principle. Bye. Are you feeling better? I was really busy today. Didn't have time to chat with you. Yeah, much better. But it still hurts sometimes when you're not by my side. There's no one to take care of me when it hurts. I really don't know when I'll get to see you. Lately, I've wanted to voice chat, but you won't agree. And when we 60 call, you don't show your face. It feels like we're having a secret affair. I really want to see you. Looking at the message from the bot, I felt completely overwhelmed. I took such good care of her that even I was moved by myself. Besides, these days I didn't dare to flirt with her lie before. I'm living in her house, and if I turn on voice chat, I'll be found out. Have you eaten? What do you want? I'll order for you. No need. I've been learning to cook recently. I made grilled fish today. Pretty impressive, right? Then a photo of the grilled fish was sent to my phone. That's mine. I made that. At that moment, I felt like a desperate simp. A girl was using something I made to please someone else. Even though that someone was also me, it still felt awful thinking about it. Oh, right. I might have to go on a business trip soon. A work transfer. I need to do a field survey in the mountains. The signal is bad, so I might not be able to contact you for 10 days or half a month. So I wanted to ask for your leave. After sending that message, I casually sent a photo of my hometown at the bottom of the pile. Last night, I had already planned it out. Could I use this half month to make the bot fall for me, instead of the virtual me online? Just last night, I named this plant Oldemo. I want to eat fish because I suddenly asked for leave. The bot and I talked a lot that night, from when we first met to getting to know each other, to some funny stories in life. I even sent her many photos of my hometown, proving I was going to work there. The result of chatting all night was, I made breakfast for the bot with 2 dark circles under my eyes. After seeing the bot off to work, I quickly lay down on the sofa to catch up on sleep. When I opened my eyes again, the bot was standing in front of me holding a stack of documents. Oh, you're back. Is it time to make dinner? Seeing the bot return, I instinctively got up to grab an apron, but the bot stopped me. Starting today, you'll be working from home. Remember Remember the project you messed up last month? The client specifically requested you to complete it, so your work time has been moved up. This cooperation is very important, so the plan needs to be done by tonight. Tomorrow, I'll take you to negotiate with the client. I could tell the bot valued this cooperation a lot. Her tone was much more serious. What about dinner? Unexpectedly, the bot suddenly rolled up her sleeves and went into the kitchen. I'll make dinner today. You just focus on perfecting the proposal. I was skeptical of the bot's words, but I didn't refuse, because this proposal was really important. While I was focused on revising the proposal, a scream interrupted my thoughts. I looked up and saw the bot shaking her hand, screaming non-stop. A scallop was clamped onto her finger. In a panic, I grabbed the bot's hand, telling her not to move. Then, I used 2 fingers to pry it open. The scallop loosened slightly, and I pulled the bot's entire hand out. You're a grown-up. How can you be so careless? I held the bot's hand, found the first aid kit in the cabinet nearby, took out gauze and iodine, and started disinfecting her finger. First, I used a cotton ball to wipe the bleeding area, and even blew on it like coaxing a child. Then I applied iodine to disinfect it, and wrapped it with gauze. After all that, I saw the bot's face was as red as a cooked shrimp. Only then did I realize I was still holding her hand. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'll make dinner. After dinner, the bot took on the burden of cleaning up, while I sat at the coffee table continuing to revise the plan. In my opinion, this client was completely brainless. Their benchmark plans were all the most popular and hottest SOP-K, and according to their requirements, it was to defeat them, to surpass the predecessors in traffic. When I first got the plan, I thought it was an impossible task. I don't know who was hot-headed enough to take on the request. The other party offered a lot of money, so much that there was no reason to refuse. But the PE for breach of contract was also very high, so high that the entire company couldn't afford it. No choice. This time, the bot personally gave the order, and the other party specifically asked for me, so I had to grit my teeth and add some traffic-attracting plans to the original proposal. Here's your coffee. Get some rest after you finish revising. At some point, the bot had made me a cup of coffee, placed it in front of me, and then turned to go upstairs. I watched her long legs leave my sight. For some reason, I felt a warmth in my heart at that moment. I wrote and rewrote this plan, revised and revised it, and didn't get back to bed until the early hours. I had actually guessed the outcome, which was that they still wouldn't be satisfied tomorrow, and would try every way to make us pay the PE nanti. Early the next morning, I saw the bot already dressed in her business suit, and she even threw a new uniform at me. But since my arm was still in a cast, I couldn't change clothes by myself, so I got to experience what it felt like to have a female 11IO of a listed company change my clothes. When my shirt was taken off, revealing my 8-pack abs, I could clearly feel the bot's eyes sneaking a peek. After I caught her, she basically kept her eyes closed the whole time while helping me change. Let's go. I got into the bot's car, heading towards the destination for this negotiation. The negotiation venue was a private room in a luxury hotel. When the bot and I opened the door and walked in, we saw the client staring at me with a smile. I've heard your company's 11IO is as beautiful as a flower. Seeing you today, it's indeed true. They shifted their gaze to the bot, and only sneered at my arrival. I then noticed there was no seat for me in the room. Please, have a seat. Today, we really need to discuss the cooperation details. The leader was a greasy middle-aged man. From the moment we entered the room, his gaze never left, always fixed on the bot. Because there was no seat, I stood by the bot like a clown. 2 of the client's employees were even snickering at me. At that moment, my anger was rising rapidly, but out of respect for the bot, I didn't explode. I just stood there with my head down. I've heard your company has a good reputation. Seeing you today, it's just as the rumors say. Don't you even understand basic hospitality? But before I could lose my temper, the bot picked up her cup, took a sip of water, and then looked at everyone in the room. Can you even talk? Don't think just because you're a company president, you can say whatever you want. How do we not understand hospitality? Do you know that a salesman like him has no right to sit with us? Can these 2 pets beside you speak for you? But at that moment, the bot's queen aura exploded. She didn't even lift her eyes. I was boiling with excitement on the sidelines. I didn't expect the bot to be so domineering. It was really CU. Shut up, you 2 useless things. The bot's salesman is still part of the bot's company. Aren't you 2 salesmen yourselves? It was our oversight. I hope you won't be angry. They had originally planned to give me a hard time at the door, since my last plan hadn't satisfied them. But I didn't expect the company president to be so protective of an employee. Soon, the waiter brought another chair and placed it next to the bot. And so, the negotiation officially began. Start your performance, the bot said to me, looking like a queen giving orders to her knight. Alright, this isn't our first cooperation. We're all old acquaintances, so I'll make it short. Your requirements are impossible to meet. Hearing me say that, the greasy man was the first to stand up in opposition. Look, President Lin, we are sincere about this cooperation, but your salesman's ability is lacking. Doesn't this count as a breach of contract? The greasy man's mouth was almost splitting into a grin, because if our company couldn't complete the product according to their requirements, we would have to pay a large PE nanti, and it was a hefty sum, enough to potentially collapse the entire company. Don't rush. What's the matter? Middle-aged life not going well? Can't even keep your CU now? Seeing the greasy man's smug look, I was furious, especially the way he looked at the bot. It really pissed me off. What did you say? I said this cooperation can go ahead, but as the entrusted party, I need to make a demand of you. Remember, it's not a request, but a demand. According to the contract, the entrusting party needs to provide the entrusted party with a complete contract plan, as well as product requirements and qualification certificates. As I spoke, I flipped through the documents in my hand and even made a point of showing them. There's no company qualification certificate on it. It's been 2 full months now, and we've only received the contract you provided us and the product requirements. But your company's qualification certificate, we haven't received it. After hearing this, the greasy man picked up a wet wipe from the table and wiped his forehead, saying nothing. But the 2 employees next to him continued to shout, "We've already paid you the commission. All you have to do now is produce a product that satisfies us." What qualification certificate? Isn't it your job to take the money and do the work? I looked at them as if they were 2 idiots, and threw the contract in my hand in front of them. What we signed was just a confirmation of the contract, and a signature for the product design. But we didn't sign the contract proof acknowledging your company's qualifications. We can meet your product requirements, but first, I need to reconfirm whether your company has the capability. In other words, if you want to surpass the traffic of top-tier products on the market, then you need to provide our company with a complete qualification certificate. That means your registered capital, project plan, and total pre-investment amount. Having said that, I picked up the water glass in front of me and took a big gulp. Then I met the bot's gaze, because the cup I used was the one she had just drunk from. Ahem, I coughed twice, to hide my embarrassment. According to the product design concept you provided, you at least need to provide us with proof of a pre-investment of about 1.5 billion. If you can't prove that you have the strength to maintain this project, we can unilaterally terminate the contract. As soon as I said this, the other side was immediately speechless and didn't even know what to do next. They had never considered this issue, only thinking about using this impossible task to make a big profit from the PE&NTI. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, from the signing of the contract notice, you have a 3-month deadline to show us your qualification certificate. It looks like you have 1 month left. Of course, I hope you can produce this certificate, since this cooperation is a win-win project. But I still need to remind you, it's almost the end of the year, and the notary office will be closing soon. So, hurry up. If you can't produce it within the specified time, we have reason to suspect you're trying to scam the PE&NTI. But I think such a big company wouldn't do something so shameless, right? I stood up, bowed politely, and extended my hand. The bot was also very cooperative. If there's nothing else, we'll be going now. Hope we still have a chance to cooperate, but only after you get the qualifications. Otherwise, if you unilaterally breach the contract, you'll have to pay up. After saying that, the bot and I left the private room. Awesome. That was so satisfying. Back in the car, I punched the air hard, and the gloom in my heart vanished at that moment. Not only did I solve the company's crisis, but I also turned the tables. So you stayed up until the early hours yesterday, just to find their loophole? The bot's tone, which had been cold at first, softened considerably. After all, with this issue resolved, the company had gotten through a major crisis. I half lay in the passenger seat, and said smugly, "Of course. We couldn't design that product at all. It was clearly a trap they set, and there must be a mole in the company that allowed the contract to be signed." I was busy until late last night, reading the contract 5 or 6 times before I found the loophole, asking them to prove the company has 1.5 billion in assets within a month. That's a pipe dream. But let's talk about it after the new year. Then you can hire a lawyer Tim to sue them. And remember to fire the employee who signed the contract. He must be the mole, I said to myself, completely unaware of the bot's gaze on me. Are you telling me what to do? Hearing the bot's tone change, I was so scared I sat up straight. I looked at the bot and shook my head repeatedly. I wouldn't dare. It's just a suggestion, a small suggestion. As for what to do next, it's all up to you. After all, you're the bot of the company. Seeing me trying so hard to please her, the bot actually smiled. Good job. I'll increase your year-end bonus by 60%. I want sweet and sour spare ribs for dinner. Seeing the bot's attitude, I was so excited I was jumping for joy. Lia, Commander. I waved my arm forward. No problem. Let's go home. The bot turned her head and looked at me. I just smiled at her. In her heart, it seemed like no one had said let's go home to her in a long time. Ding dong. I took out my phone and saw it was a 60 call from my mom. "Son, it's almost New Year's. When are you guys getting off work? That perverted bot of yours isn't making you work overtime again, is she?" As soon as I answered, my mother's kind face appeared on the screen. But her words were worse than killing me, because the perverted bot I was talking about was sitting right next to me. No. Our bot is brilliant. A great leader. When did I say perverted? She takes very good care of me. You must have misheard. At that moment, I used every compliment I could think of for her. I denied it vehemently. My mom looked confused after hearing this. "Last time, you told me yourself what kind of bot she was, because you made a small mistake last month, and she deducted that money. You even said she was a real she-devil, and asked about her irregular periods. That's what you said, right?" Mom, please stop talking. If you keep going, I won't be able to go home for New Year's this year. Son, is there someone next to you who makes it inconvenient to talk? Okay. Then I won't say any more. I wanted to cry even more. Mom, with your smarts. If only you'd realized a few minutes earlier. What's the use of not talking now? She's already heard everything. Son, come home early for New Year's this year. We've got a whole house full of cats. Didn't you say you love cats? Your dad has been making good money breeding cats. If you're not het pie at the company, come back and work with your dad. You don't have to take your bot's crap anymore. The world really is a circle. She just said she wouldn't complain anymore because someone was next to me. But then she brought up the bot again in no time. Then my mom turned the camera, and soon our yard appeared on the screen. There were at least 100 ragdoll cats in the yard, all meowing at the camera. Looking at the yard full of cats, I even felt a bit sorry. I originally thought that by finding a good job, I could support my parents. But I didn't expect they still had to start their own business to pave the way for their useless son. Mom, don't work too hard. At your age, you should relax and enjoy life. Oh, son, I almost forgot to tell you. Your dad was elected village head. You're a rich second generation now. Hearing my mom say that, I turned to look at the bot and saw she was snickering. The first thing your dad did after taking office was to repair the old town god's temple in the village. A lot of villagers respect him. He's even planning to have them all raise cats soon to get rich. After saying that, my mom sent a photo of the village's town god's temple. By the time I wanted to stop her, it was too late. The renovated town god's temple was now displayed in front of me and the bot. The bot didn't pay much attention to the photo at first, but she quickly reacted. She took out her phone, scrolled through the chat history, and opened another photo. She zoomed in and compared them. Mom, I'll hang up now. I'll come back to see you when I get my annual leave. After saying that, I hung up the 6EO and pretended nothing was wrong while sitting in the passenger seat. But I was secretly glancing at the bot. Look, isn't this the town god's temple from your hometown? Unexpectedly, the bot suddenly handed me her phone, zooming in on the temple in the photo. Probably not. Temples like this are in almost every village. It's not that coincidental that it's from my village. I see. Let's go home. Make the sweet and sour spare ribs. The bot didn't dwell on the matter. After dinner, I was cleaning up in the living room while the bot went back to her room. Are you there? Today I saw a building from one of your photos, and it looked very familiar. I don't know if you're there. It's been 3 days since you last replied to me. Are you doing well over there? I want to come find you, even if it's just to see you. My phone kept vibrating in my pocket. I took it out and saw the messages the bot had sent. For a moment, I didn't know what to say. At that moment, I felt a bit disgusted with myself. I couldn't even tell the girl I liked to her face. I wanted to be brave for once, but then I thought, what comes after being brave? Maybe it would lead to a breakup. Maybe we'd never see each other again, or even have no connection for the rest of our lives. And so, two people with heavy hearts fell asleep in their rooms until the middle of the night. I was woken up by a knock on the door. I opened the door and saw the bot in her pajamas. Her eyes were red, which made my heart ache. I didn't even have time to admire her perfect figure. Can we go to your house tomorrow? This sudden question left me at a loss for words. Before I could react, the bot brought out a laptop from behind her back. I had someone trek. There are villages with town gods temples, a total of 246 villages. I collected them all and compared them one by one. The only town god's temple that matches the photo is in your village. Take me there. Hearing the bot say that, my heart felt like it was being squeezed. I never thought a random photo I took would make her go through so much trouble. Bot, why are you so fixated on the town god's temple in my village? There are plenty of temples in the city that are very effective too, whether for wealth, lop, or children. I want to see someone. Before I could finish, the bot interrupted me and said with a dejected look, does he owe you money? I asked jokingly. The bot nodded. And the next second, her eyes reddened, tears welling up in them. He owes me more than just money. I want to find him. Will you take me to your house? At that moment, I couldn't think of any reason to refuse. 11IO, high and mighty, was asking me in a pleading tone. Seeing me agree, she finally went back satisfied. Sure enough, the bot was a woman of action. The next morning, as soon as I got up, I found 2 large suitcases in the living room. The bot was also dressed and sitting on the sofa. I'll give you half an hour to wash up and change. Your leave is approved. We're leaving today. The bot didn't give me any chance to react. She just sat there watching the time. I knew the countdown had begun. Panicked, I rushed into the bathroom to wash up and shower, and it took me less than 15 minutes. After changing, I stood at the door and smiled at the bot. Take the suitcases downstairs. It's my first time going to your house, and I didn't know what to bring for your parents, so I bought a little bit of everything. With great effort, I managed to load the 2 suitcases into the car. Then I caught the car keys the bot threw at me. Drive to your house. You drive. Then the bot sat down in the passenger seat. What are you thinking? A few minutes passed. Seeing I wasn't moving, he rolled down the window. He looked at me standing outside awkwardly and asked, I can't drive. As soon as I said that, the bot took off her sunglasses and looked at me with surprise. I said very aggrievedly, don't look at me like that. I really can't. Every day for work, I ride a shared bike. Besides, I've been at the company so long. When have you ever seen me with a car? Then I pointed at my injured left hand. Besides, I can't drive like this. Unless you want to die with me. I looked up at the bot, acting proud. The message was clear. What can you do about me? Seeing me acting so smug, the bot really wanted to strangle me. She helplessly rubbed her forehead. She really had forgotten I was injured. After all, I'd been cooking so smoothly these days. She'd been treating me like a fully capable person. Switch seats. The bot took the car keys from me with a dark face. Then she started the car and drove toward my house. I checked the navigation. It would take about 4 hours to get home. Along the way, I told the bot a lot of funny stories from my childhood in the village, including me going into the river to catch frogs, and going fishing with my friends, and the big yellow dog at the village entrance. It would bite me as soon as it saw me. The bot listened with great interest, because she had never experienced such a het pie life. She had been raised as an heir since childhood. No fun, no childhood, just endless knowledge, and business dealings. At that moment, the relationship between the bot and me subtly changed. We were no longer lie bot and subordinate, more like 2 close friends. The 4-hour drive passed quickly with my company. Finally, in the afternoon, I returned to the village that raised me. Whose luxury car is this? So impressive, right? Look at that matte paint job. Last month, my daughter said her bot drives one just like it. As soon as we entered the village, we were surrounded by many people. They pointed at the car. For so many years, people only left the village. No one came back to visit. So when we showed up, we instantly became the center of attention. Haha. Isn't that Sister Lou's kid? Chen Zi, I never thought you'd become so successful after all these years. The bot, feeling awkward from the crowd, didn't want to keep driving. She stopped the car and rolled down the window. The villagers immediately recognized me. All right, we won't bother you. Go home and see your parents. If they knew you were back, They'd be grinning from ear to ear, surrounded by the enthusiastic villagers. The bot drove toward my house. From a distance, I heard cat sounds coming from our yard. A man had his back to us. He was scattering cat food nonstop. It didn't look like he was feeding a cat, more like feeding chickens. Dad, I got out of the car and called out, my voice choked with emotion. My dad turned around, startled at first. You little brat, you finally remembered to come back and see us? Honey, come out quick. The kid's home. Seeing the gray hair at my dad's temples over the years, tears involuntarily streamed from my eyes. My mom heard the shout. She also came out of the house, still wearing her apron. When she saw me, she got extremely excited. She rushed over and hugged me directly. But that also touched my wound. Mom, easy, easy. Your son is injured. Hearing me wince in pain, my mom quickly stood up to look. Seeing my left hand in a cast, she almost cried. How did this happen? How did you get hurt so badly? I scratched my head. Just said I accidentally fell. The bot lowered her head in embarrassment and didn't speak. And my mom, following my gaze, also saw the beautiful woman I brought back. This girl was very pretty. Are you Xiaoze's girlfriend? Mom, we're friends. The bot interrupted me and then explained. But the old couple didn't listen at all. They just nodded, as if to say, we're young at heart too, we get it. Son, his dad, we have a guest. Go get some good food. Tonight, I'll allow you to have a drink. Hearing he could drink, my dad perked up like he'd been injected with adrenaline. Why can't he drink? I asked. Your dad was diagnosed with liver problems a while ago. The doctor said he absolutely can't drink heavily anymore. So I've been keeping him in check these days. But since you're back today, I'll let him have a little. Now I understood. No wonder my dad was excited as a kid earlier. You haven't introduced yourself yet. My name is Lin Aoxue. I'm Chenze's friend. I heard he was coming home for the new year to see you both, so I tagged along. I hope I'm not intruding. Oh, don't say that. You have no idea how happy your uncle and I are that you came. This kid has never brought a girl home in all these years. You're the first. And I hope you're the last. I stood aside, not wanting to say anything more. The more you explain these things, the messier they get. Soon, my dad came back with a table full of food. The four of us sat around the table. My mom kept piling food onto Lin Aoxue's plate while telling stories about me when I was little. Occasionally, she'd turn and ask how I was doing lately. It was lie Lin Aoxue was her own daughter. It was only now that I learned the bot's name. After dinner, I wanted to help clear the table, but my mom refused, saying I was injured, and told me to take Lin Aoxue out for a walk. Helpless, I had to take her for a stroll around the village. As we walked, a yellow figure rushed toward me. Donghua, stop it. You used to chase and bite me. And now you're licking me, huh? I struggled to stand up and held the yellow dog down. I smiled and patted its head. When I was little, Donghua was the most spirited dog in the village. But as I grew up, Donghua got old too. Even its whiskers and eyebrows started turning white. I sighed with emotion and took out the remaining half of the sausage from my pocket, ready to feed it. But when I looked down, Donghua was gone. By the time I realized it, it had already rushed to Lin Aoxue's feet, wagging its tail non-stop, trying to be friendly. Hey, you ungrateful thing. You're not even excited to see an old friend. I was going to feed you, but a beautiful woman you just met has already won you over. You little flirt. Even though I said that, I still stepped aside tactfully, watching Lin Aoxue and Donghua interact. Faced with the enthusiastic Donghua, Lin Aoxue was scared at first, but driven by curiosity, she still crouched down and couldn't help but pat Donghwa's head. This made Donghua wag its tail even more happily. He really likes you. Watching the two of them play so well together, I couldn't help but sigh. After a while, Lin Aoxue stood up and looked at me. Take me to see the village's city god temple. So, there's no escaping it, huh, helpless. Since we were already here, I had to take Lin Aoxue. Your whining hats. We arrived at the city god temple on the hill. Back when the village was still full of people, the incense at the city god temple never stopped. But as more and more young people left the village to develop in the city, the temple became increasingly neglected. Luckily, my dad became the village head and had it renovated. That's how it regained its former vitality. The bot walked around the city god temple twice, then took out her phone and zoomed in on a previous picture. Although the temple had been dilapidated back then, and now it was completely different, some of the styles hadn't changed. Lin Aoxue compared the photo one by one. Soon, she confirmed this was the place. After looking for a while, Lin Aoxue turned around and suddenly said to me, "Can you take a picture for me?" I nodded, not knowing what to do. I took the phone from her hand, adjusted the angle and took a picture for her. Lin Aoxue took the phone and quickly sent the photo out. I've arrived. It's this place. If you can, will you come see me? The evening breeze blew Lin Aoxue's hair. Seeing her lonely expression, I couldn't help but want to step forward and hug her and shout loudly to her, "I'm right here. I love you." But in the end, I didn't take that step. Actually, when we got to the village, I knew the lie I told had probably been exposed. Because the village already had 5G signal, there was no way messages couldn't be received. Lin Aoxue was so smart. She had probably already figured out that her online love interest wasn't unable to receive messages, but didn't want to reply to Chen Ziyi. If a friend of yours is avoiding you, what do you think the reason is? Lin Aoxue put away her phone, looking dejected. She turned to me and said, "If it's not because they owe you money, maybe they have their reasons." She wasn't very satisfied with my answer. She walked straight into the city god temple. There were fresh incense sticks on the altar. She casually opened a pack and lit one, placed it in the incense burner and closed her eyes, sincerely making a wish. Karen appeared before me. Even just seeing him would be enough. Lin Aoxue stood there for a long time, then opened her eyes and turned around, meeting my gaze directly. Actually, the village's city god temple isn't very effective. I looked at her and smiled. Lin Aoxue sighed, walked over and took my arm. "Let's go back." Seeing her so dejected, I didn't know what to say. I just obediently let her pull me back. As soon as we got home, before we even entered the yard, we heard my parents talking. "Do you think that girl is our son's girlfriend? How could she be? She looks rich and important. Very wealthy. I don't even recognize the things she brought this time. Most of them are in English." Hearing their conversation, Lin Aoshuai didn't walk in right away. Instead, she grabbed me and eavesdropped at the gate.
But if they really are a couple,
that would be Lai Archen family's ancestors smiling down on us.
I just wonder if she'll want the kid to take her surname. Hearing the old couple's talk, I wished I could find a hole to crawl into.
Lin Aoshuai, on the other hand, looked completely calm.
But the way that girl looks at our son, I can tell she definitely likes him.
Hearing this, I turned to look at Lin Aoshuai in surprise.
But from her eyes, I saw nothing.
Ahem, I coughed twice at the gate, interrupting their conversation.
If they kept talking,
who knows what other rumors would come up. Seeing me bring Lin Aoshuai back, my parents quickly stood up to greet us, then brought out fruit for us to eat. By the way, Uncle, Chenzi took me to see the village's city god temple.
I heard it was recently renovated. Did you do that?
The village elected me as head. I thought I'd do some good for everyone. Besides, it's not newly renovated. It's been almost half a year.
Lin Aoshuai nodded and didn't say anything more. And I knew I was completely exposed, because I had sent the photo of the old city god temple to Lin Aoshuai just 3 days ago. That meant the timing didn't met at all. Luckily, she didn't keep asking. That night, my parents cleared out a room for us. Late at night, I was sleeping soundly when I was suddenly woken by a knock on the door. I rubbed my eyes and opened the door.
Sure enough, Lin Aoshuai was standing there in her pajamas again.
But it's one thing at your place, but now we're at my house.
Aren't you afraid of the villagers gossiping?
Lin Aoshuai didn't care at all. She walked straight into my room, found a spot and sat down, then stared at me without saying a word.
But, sis, what do you want? I'm so sleepy. Let me sleep, Oku. I had no idea what this woman was up to again tonight.
Probably by tomorrow morning,
the village would be buzzing with news of a girl sneaking into my room at night. I sent you a file. Accept it.
I groggily took out my phone,
unlocked the screen, ready to receive the file. The next second, a 6EO call came through. At that moment, I still didn't realize anything.
I reflexively answered it.
When Lin Aoshuai's face appeared on my phone screen,
I knew it was too late. I had no idea what to say.
I couldn't even bring myself to look at Lin Aoshuai.
I just stared at the phone screen,
enduring Lin Aoshuai's scrutinizing gaze.
How about you give me a chance to explain?
But she didn't say anything. She just turned and left,
leaving me standing there like an idiot. It was over. At that moment, I felt like my whole world had collapsed.
I didn't know how to face Lin Aoshuai next. No words were exchanged that night. The next morning,
I walked out of my room and saw Lin Aoshuai coming out too. Good morning, but Lin Aoshuai gave me a cold look and turned away without a word. I awkwardly rubbed my nose.
It seemed like winter over again.
Wouldn't be possible anytime soon. At breakfast,
when I heard Lin Aoshuai was leaving, my mom exclaimed, "What?
You're leaving today?
There are some urgent matters at the company that need handling. Besides, Chen Ziyi is an excellent employee.
We can't do without him." Even though Lin Aoshuai said that, she didn't look at me once. My mom looked at me, then turned to look at Lin Aoshuai, as if she understood something.
You must be uncomfortable staying here, right? You two are usually together.
Being apart must feel strange.
Since that's the case, I won't stop you as your mom.
Eat up, then pack up and head back. But take the things you brought with you. I appreciate the thought, but your dad and I can't finish all that.
We couldn't resist the old couple's enthusiasm.
So everything we brought, we had to pack back up.
Can you listen to my explanation? The whole way back was silent. Finally, I couldn't help but say, listen to your explanation. Explain what? How you lied to me. I didn't know when Lin Aoshuai started suspecting me.
But if she really wanted me to explain, I really had nothing to say. And so, for the 4-hour drive, we didn't say a single word to each other. When we got to her building, I reached for her luggage, but Lin Aoshuai grabbed it first. Seeing her firm tone, I had to let go and stand aside.
But the next second, she lost her balance and fell. I rushed over to help her. Get away.
Lin Aoshuai yelled angrily. She stubbornly stood up, dragged the heavy luggage, and walked step by step into the building. Watching her disappearing back, I knew I would probably never come to this place again. I went home, feeling dejected, then took out the key I had hidden earlier from my pocket. Back then, to trick Lin Aoshuai, I had hidden it. But now, looking back at what I did, at this moment, I realized I was just a clown. I went to great lengths to hide my identity, and in the end, I got nothing. Back home, looking at the empty room, I felt like I had lost my soul. I sat on the couch, not knowing how long, then got up to wash my face in the bathroom. Looking at my haggard reflection in the mirror, I couldn't help but slap myself. Chen Zi, you're not a man. If you lie her, go for it. What's the big deal? With that thought, I cleaned myself up, then took a gift and went to Lin Aoshuai's building. Aoshuai, I lie you. Standing in the middle of the lit heart-shaped candles, I held a bouquet of flowers in my hands and shouted up to her floor. Give me a chance to pursue you. My shout echoed through the whole neighborhood, but there was no response.
Aoshuai, even if you're going to sentence me to death, you should at least give me a chance for a final statement.
I know I lied to you. But back then, I didn't know who you were. I never thought the person I liked would be my bot. As soon as I said that, I heard a window upstairs open.
I looked up, but it wasn't Lin Aoshuai.
It was a man wearing an apron. Bro, keep going. I stared at him speechlessly. This guy was even holding a handful of sunflower seeds. Because of the difference in our status, I was afraid you'd find out.
I was afraid that if you knew, you'd leave me.
As soon as I said that, a few more windows opened.
Residents of the neighborhood all put their heads out. What happened next? What happened next?
Seeing so many people suddenly appear, I felt a bit embarrassed. But I knew, if I backed down now, I would never have another chance. I admit I lied to you.
I'm a coward. I'm useless. But when I was cooking for you at your place,
I knew I had fallen for you. Seeing you smile when you ate. Do you know how happy I was at that moment? My words won approval from many of the women. They started scolding their own men. I've thought it through now. Even if you're my bot,
I still want a chance. A chance to prove I lop you. Even if I have to work for free from now on, okay?
When I said that,
The surrounding residents all laughed. Some even thought I was adorably naive.
if you don't come down today, I'll stand here forever.
Having said that, I made up my mind. I stood there holding the flowers, not moving. More and more onlookers gathered around.
Word spread quickly. Those watching from upstairs,
And those around me soon filled the entire area. Time passed, minute by minute.
half an hour later.
Many people had lost patience. Bro, I think you should give up. It doesn't look like she's coming down. Many people around me advised, if it's really not working, just let it go. I looked up and shouted with all my might toward the building. Do I really have no chance?
The surroundings fell silent.
Seeing no figure appear at the building entrance, I knew, maybe I really had no chance.
As the last candle burned out, my hope was extinguished too.
I hung my head, ready to leave. The crowd naturally parted to make way for me. I could see the expressions on everyone's faces. Some were regretful, some disappointed,
And some were gloating.
Suddenly, a familiar voice came. What are you doing here? I looked up and met the equally surprised eyes of Lin Aoshui. Seeing the full shopping cart beside Lin Aoshui,
I knew she had been shopping. She hadn't been home at all.
all that emotion was wasted, and I didn't plan to confess again. I just threw away the flowers in my hand and rushed over, pulling Lin Aoshui tightly into my arms.
What are you doing?
Let me go. Do you hear me? Don't be smart. My arms hurt. Let me hold you for a while. Just a little while. I buried my head in Lin Aoshui's shoulder, smelling the fragrance of her hair. The people around started cheering, shouting get together, non-stop. Let go of me first. Let's go home and talk. Oku? Surrounded by so many people, Lin Aoshui was also embarrassed. She could only beg me to let her go first.
Hearing go home.
I quickly stood up and nodded frantically, then took the shopping cart from her
And pushed it back.
Lin Aoshui quickly followed my pace, because she really couldn't afford the embarrassment.
Thanks, brothers.
When we get married, I'll definitely send you invitations. Lin Aoshui grabbed my ear and said,
Haven't you embarrassed me enough?
just wait until we get home. I'll deal with you.
Even though my ear hurt.
At that moment, my heart was sweet. When Lin Aoshui and I got home, seeing her sit down on the couch,
I walked over
and fell to my knees with a thud. I know I was wrong, I said, looking pitiful, with my head down. But soon, I saw Lin Aoshui
stand up and walk toward me. Get up.
A pair of long legs and black stockings appeared before me. I instantly forgot what I was about to say. Ling Xiaoxue, who was waiting for me to continue, saw me staring straight at her legs. She pulled them back, sitting cross-legged on the sofa. If you keep staring,
I'll gouge your eyes out. I was startled.
I quickly wiped the drool from my mouth and said, I won't look. You came to see me today. Looks like you're here to propose. So, will you marry me? I took the chance and started to stand up, but Lin Aoshui glared at me, making me sit back down. Now I didn't dare to act crazy anymore. I know I lied to you, deceived your feelings, but before I knew who you were, I really wanted to be with you till the end. At that moment, I dropped my playful attitude. I looked up, staring into Lin Aoshui's eyes, and said, Lin Aoshui showed no reaction. The meaning was clear. Go on, explain yourself clearly, or don't think about standing up. Later, during the meeting, I found out who you were. At that time, I was terrified. You're the lofty 11IO, and I'm just an employee under you. I thought we had no hope. Hearing my explanation, Lin Aoshui's face turned red. After knowing my identity, you still said something about a master's task, and made me wear such embarrassing clothes to go out to dinner with you. The angrier Lin Aoshui got, the more she kicked me down with one foot. What's wrong? I'm speaking from the heart. I looked at her with confusion. Nothing. I just felt like kicking you. Stop talking and keep confessing.
I sat up pitifully.
I continued to confess my crimes. Then later, you hurt me and took me home. Seeing how clumsy you were at cooking,
You just what?
I looked into Lin Aoshui's eyes and answered seriously. I just wanted to take care of you for the rest of your life. Lin Xiaoxue was a bit embarrassed by my gaze, especially after hearing my last sentence. A blush spread across her face.
Sweet talk.
Lin Aoshui rolled her eyes at me.
I've figured it out now.
Everyone has the right to pursue their own happiness. I don't expect you to say that right now. I just hope you'll give me a chance to pursue you. I'll prove to you that I lop you. At this moment, my expression was extremely serious. Lin Aoshui's cheeks got hot in my stare.
After hearing my words, Lin Aoshui looked at me and said coquettishly,
Whether I give you a chance depends on your performance. Tonight, I want to eat something delicious. Hearing Lin Aoshui say that,
I quickly stood up.
I imitated the waiter from ancient times and said,
Coming right up, dear guest, just wait and see.
Soon, I organized all the ingredients Lin Aoshui had bought.
I picked a few of her favorites and started bustling in the kitchen. This was a good start.
She was willing to give me a chance, instead of just kicking me out.
If I performed well, then the chances were high.
Put this on, don't get your clothes dirty.
At some point,
Lin Aoshui appeared behind me, her hands gently wrapped around my waist,
tying the apron on me. Before I could react,
a cold touch landed on my cheek. Then Lin Aoshui ran off, sat on the sofa, and stared at me. Hey, can I get one here too? I pointed to my right cheek.
Depends on your performance. If dinner isn't good,
you'll sleep on the first floor. As a man, how could I not understand Lin Aoshui's meaning? The subtext was clear. If I did well,
I could see a room with her tonight.
I was like a shot of adrenaline, showing off all my skills. Behind me, Lin Aoshui sat quietly on the sofa, watching me. When she first came back, Lin Aoshui was very angry. She thought I had played with her feelings. For a moment, she couldn't accept it.
But then she thought,
the person she liked online was the man in front of her. Besides, after these few days of contact, she found he wasn't as annoying as she had imagined. So she decided to come find me tomorrow and talk things out. If we really weren't meant to be together,
then it was better to part ways sooner.
But she didn't accept that while she was out buying ingredients, I had already rushed to her apartment building. Then, facing my sincere confession, Lin Aoshui let down her guard. No matter which one she liked, it was still her. What are you looking at?
Is there a flower on my face?
During dinner, I kept staring at Lin Aoshui.
It made her a bit embarrassed. I nodded and said with a grin, "There's a flower. I can never get enough of looking at my own wife." "Who's your wife?" "I haven't agreed yet." Seeing Lin Aoshue's shy expression, I took out my phone and pressed play. "Honey, if we're together in the future, you have to cook delicious food for me every day. Your wife is very greedy." "Oku." Lin Aoshue, hearing this, shyly dropped her chopsticks. She tapped my phone. "Stop playing it." I'm so embarrassed. Then she saw the notes EP on my phone's home screen. Curiously, she flipped through it. Soon, she was speechless. "Today I met a girl online. We chatted happily. We have similar interests, and I called her B-Bye. Honestly, I was a bit shy. After all, this is my first relationship." I plucked up the courage to ask her for some revealing photos. Unexpectedly, she actually sent them. I figure I was a little thrilled. She said she likes grilled fish, and my specialty is grilled fish. Is this a met made in heaven? Lin Aoshue flipped through my notes. Soon, her eyes turned red. "Today I found out the 11IO is actually my online dating partner, but am I worthy? I want to pursue her. I want to be with her." But would she look at an employee lie me? Forget it. I'll muster up the courage to chase you. Stubborn girl, you got quite a grip. You almost broke my arm. If we get together, I can't let her be abusive to me. Lin Aoshue flipped through many pages. It was all clearly recorded. From when we first met online to every little detail after. I remembered it all clearly. She found out, and she's not talking to me anymore. Do you think we'll end like this? I'm not gonna give up. I won't be brave for once. I'm going to find her. That's where the notes ended. Because I was right in front of her, smiling. Lin Aoshue wiped her tears. She picked up her phone and typed a sentence. Then she showed it to me. "I'm with him now. Today is our anniversary." I looked at the phone. Then at Lin Aoshue. Seeing her shyly nod, I happily pounced on her. I hugged her with all my strength, wishing I could press her into my body. "I won't let you down. I love you," I whispered in Lin Aoshue's ear. "I know," Lin Aoshue replied softly. I held her shoulder with one hand. At that moment, our eyes met. I couldn't hold back anymore. I pressed her head down and kissed her fiercely. Lin Aoshue responded passionately. It was as if all of this was a trial for our love, and today, we finally made it. The mood was right. I wanted to scoop Lin Aoshue out and carry her to the bedroom. But she stopped me. "What? Didn't you say you'd wear that purple sexy lingerie?" Trying to back out, no matter what I said. Lin Aoshue refused my request, citing my injury. That night, we lay in the same bed. We didn't do anything. We just held each other quietly and talked from the heart. We talked until we both fell asleep. The next morning, I was woken up by Lin Aoshue's scream. I opened my eyes and saw Redley clothes in the room. "What's wrong, honey?" Lin Aoshue shot me a glare. While putting on her clothes, she said, "It's all your fault for making me talk so late. Today is a weekly meeting, and I'm going to be late." At that moment, I was lying in bed, feeling the softness, watching the busy Lin Aoshue. It really felt like I was a kept man. "You're the company 11IO. The company can't do without you. Heat up. I'm going to sleep a bit more." With that, I turned over and went back to sleep. When I woke up, it was almost noon. I got up, tied up a bit, and started cooking. After everything was done, I packed the food into a lunchbox. I took a TAC 11 to the company building. Under the surprised gaze of the receptionist, I pushed open the door to the 11IOS office. "Honey, did you miss me? I made you a lop lunch." I rushed in with an exaggerated gesture. The next second, I froze in place. Because the office was full of people, I suddenly remembered that after the weekly meeting every Monday, the 11IO would summon all the staff to the office for a detailed meeting. Later, Lin Aoshue took me back to her hometown. I met her parents. At dinner, I drank heartily with my future father-in-law. We were pulling at each other, about to become sworn brothers. If Lin Aoshue hadn't stopped us, I'd probably be his uncle by now. Before we left, the old couple handed me 2 bank cards. They said it was their life savings. One card was for our wedding, and the other was for our future child. After much refusal, I accepted the cards. Then I went home with Lin Aoshue. That night, I held Lin Aoshue with a slight grin. The look on my face made her uneasy. "Honey, look, your parents already gave money for our future kid. Should we hurry up and have a B-bye? Otherwise, this money won't have anywhere to go." Lin Aoshue called me a pervert. Then she crawled out from under the covers. At that moment, I saw she was wearing that purple pajamas. At that moment, I couldn't hold back anymore. I had held out for so long. Today, I could finally make it official. Then I pounced on her with a roar. Later, as expected, Aoshue got pregnant. Soon, our wedding was held. To fulfill my promise, I invited all the residents of the neighborhood to attend. At the wedding, my parents cried like babies. They kept mumbling, "The pig we raised has finally found a good cabbage." When my father-in-law handed Lin Aoshue, in her wedding dress, to me, looking at this stunningly beautiful woman in front of me, it felt like a dream. "I love you. Will you marry me?" At that moment, I knelt on one knee, holding our wedding rings in my hand. I looked at Lin Aoshue with deep affection. Lin Aoshue took the microphone. In a voice that everyone present could hear, she said, "I do." After the wedding, we went on a honeymoon to many places. During that time, I felt like the happiest husband in the world. As Lin Aoshue's belly grew bigger, to make it easier to take care of her, I moved my parents from the village to lie in our neighborhood. The old couple were overjoyed to see Lin Aoshue's belly. Lin Aoshue then started her confinement period. As a result, all the pressure from the company fell on me. I was busy every day. After finishing company affairs, I had to drag my tired body home. After work, I still had to make nutritious meals for Lin Aoshue. In half a month, I never repeated a dish. After all this, Lin Aoshue gained weight, while I lost over 10 pounds from exhaustion. Soon, the day of Lin Aoshue's delivery arrived. My whole family and I waited anxiously outside the operating room until the doctor came out holding a tiny, adorable bee-bye. We all breathed a sigh of relief. The doctor tried to hand the bee-bye to me, but I asked my in-laws to take care of it. I rushed into the ward immediately. Seeing my actions, both sets of parents nodded in satisfaction. Under our loving care, little Chen Lin grew up strong. After becoming a mother, Lin Aoshue stepped back from the company. She became my personal secretary. Today is Monday again. I was holding a routine meeting with my employees in the conference room. What used to be Lin Aoshue's job had now become mine, just like hers. I was talking about the company's future direction and the current tasks when suddenly the screen casted. A message appeared on it. The contact name was Dear Wife.